What started as a community food drive in the KTVB parking lot back in 2008 has since turned into a massive operation spanning southwestern Idaho. The original goal? To help those in our community impacted by the recession by stocking the shelves of local charities. And while the circumstances have changed, the objective has not. Over the last 17 years, you have helped provide more than 15 million meals for Idahoans in need. Today, we hear from the nonprofits themselves about their needs and why your donations through 7 Cares Idaho Shares continue to mean so much. And thank you for joining us for this KTVB special presentation. I'm Brian Holmes. For 18 years, KTVB's 7 Cares Idaho Shares has been on a mission to help the local charities that help the people in our communities who need help the most. The goal from the beginning has been to fully stock the shelves of our local nonprofits, our food banks, shelters for winter. And of course, the need for food and shelter and support is always there. But this year, it's particularly great. And today, we're hearing from the nonprofits about how your generous donations this year and over the years have supported their own mission to help the community. And they're here with us today in studio. So we're going to kind of introduce you to everybody here today that we're going to talk to them. So let's start in the back. We have Kathy Holland. And then Jane McLaughlin from the Idaho Food Bank. Also sitting next to them, that would be Jason Billister from the Boise Rescue Mission. In the front row, we have Stacy Lawrence and Lindsay Klein, both of them from the Salvation Army. So thank you all very much for being here today to kind of get the word out ahead of 7 Cares Idaho Shares, which is coming up on December 13th. And it's happening on Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I want to draw attention to a QR code that's going to be on the bottom of the screen throughout this show to where you can scan that QR code and figure out how you can help as a member of this community. So let's actually start in the front here with Lindsay and Stacy. We're talking about the Salvation Army. So you guys have facilities all over the Treasure Valley, correct? What do you guys do?
We're a social service agency, all things food related. Our Canyon County partners, they provide shelter and different resources. We do a lot of education. Our main mission is to help break the cycle of poverty for families. And oftentimes that starts with just a food box, and we get to invite them in our doors, get to know them, their situation, and then we are able to create individualized case plans for them and help them where they need the most help at.
How many locations do you guys serve?
There's 3 units in the Treasure Valley. Okay. There's the Boise unit, the Nampa unit, and then the Caldwell unit.
Have you seen an increase in all of the facilities over the years, or at least this year?
For sure.
Like what kind?
We're looking at about a 60% increase, I would say, over the last few years. In the Boise area for sure. Is Nampa and Caldwell about the same?
Yeah, there's definitely been an increase in need in Canyon County as well.
I mean, a lot of people can attribute that to the number of people that have moved in this state, but are there other factors that are playing into this?
I think there's just always a great sense of need. Life is in general just a little bit harder right now, and the great thing about the Salvation Army is we've been in the Treasure Valley since 1887, helping folks out when they need it most. And so we're just super honored, and we feel very grateful that we're still able to help folks in need when they need it.
Okay, awesome. Jason Billister with the Boise Rescue Mission. You guys have also been around and have locations scattered across the Treasure Valley. Is it kind of the same situation where the demand has gone up over the last few years?
It really has, Brian. We're now providing care to 62% of the homeless population in the entire state of Idaho. We're serving right now about 500 men, women, and children a night. We're providing over 900 meals a day. We operate 2 shelters in Boise, 2 shelters in Nampa. Then we have 112 transitional housing units.
Okay. So when you say you're serving 500 a night, but this is is that your limit, or this is just kind of you've had to expand?
So, you know what? We always have room.
Okay.
I'll tell you where we've seen increases. Brian, right now, 44% of our guests are women or women with children. 5 years ago, maybe 10% of our guests were women and children. Now we're up to 44%, so almost half. We're also serving more elderly guests who are in need. Can't afford a home on a fixed income, they're staying with us.
Okay, so you've seen an increase in those aspects of society. What kind of things, like what are the circumstances they're dealing with most?
You know, so many people are homeless for different reasons, because of family situations, money situations, addiction issues, mental health issues. So when somebody comes to the rescue mission, we want to find out what happened, what caused them to be homeless, and we look at ways to help them overcome that issue and get back on their feet.
Because it's not just a shelter, not just a place to stay, is it?
It's not. That's the best part. We offer wraparound services for each person. So there's an intake process. Let's find out what happened. How are you doing emotionally and physically and financially and spiritually? Where's your family? Once we identify the main issues behind that led them to homelessness, then we offer programs that'll go from anywhere from 6 months up to 2 years. Then we have transitional housing once they complete their program.
Okay, I'm sure the success stories for all of you are pretty vast.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about those in just a minute, but we'll slip over to the Idaho Food Bank because we've been dealing with organizations that focus on the Treasure Valley, but you guys are statewide. I know a lot of people think of a food bank as some place you just walk in and kind of get some food, a box, kind of get a shopping or whatever kind of thing where you just gather what you need. But you guys do a lot more than that, don't you?
Correct, yeah. We're the largest distributor of free food assistance across the state. So we do serve all 44 counties statewide, and that's through our partner network of over 400 partners in various counties and various regions of the state who are actually providing those food boxes and opening up their pantry doors for neighbors to come in and access that food.
You guys have been around for a while as well, I think since the 80s?
Correct, yes, yeah.
And obviously the need has grown over the years. I think I was looking up some numbers. 211,000 people monthly, is that what you serve? Does that sound about right?
216,000 people per month is what we serve, yes. Yeah,
wow.
Per month. That's quite a few individuals.
And the same question then, what circumstances are you seeing? Have the circumstances changed lately, or are they about the same?
Well, I would even say, before 2019, we saw several individuals that were coming during the pandemic. We saw several more families that were in need due to the situation. We have not dropped back down to those pre-pandemic levels of families coming in need of food assistance. And then this year, in the last month and a half, has been very unique with the government shutdown and the delay in SNAP benefits and some federal employees not receiving paychecks. So we have seen quite a few more individuals and families coming to visit our food pantries.
When we started 7 Cares Idaho Shares, it was during the Great Recession. The need was great then because people were losing jobs, losing homes, that kind of stuff. Now it's an affordability issue when it comes to food, shelter, all that stuff. Is that what you're seeing? Weabsolutely. There's rising costs in everything: housing, childcare, healthcare, gas, food cost, all of those things, and that impacts a family. We often say rent eats first, and sometimes they're having to pay all of those bills first, and food comes at the very end of their list. And that's where these food pantries can step up and help support and offer that food for those families to be able to have that nourishment they need, and so that they can free up those funds to pay other bills. Okay. Stacey, you've been with the Salvation Army for a number of years. I've mentioned with Jason about the success stories that you guys have seen. Do you have any of those that you can share today? Like what you've seen, even something that stands out to you or something recently? So most recently, we've seen a lot of new folks that haven't used any food pantries or haven't had the need for that. And it's always interesting to me for the first time person, they feel judged. They don't want to come to us, right? Like they don't want this problem, but we do a really good job of making them feel welcome. We're not judging them. We understand that they need food. We have food. Hey, let's get together on this. I think one of my success stories would be a family that comes through that needs help, and then maybe that family is who comes to volunteer the next month. So they get it figured out, or they feel like it was a good experience for them, and they know their neighbors are hurting too, so they're willing to put the time in to help somebody else. And I think that really shows community. Jane, has it been a situation where you've had to kind of break the stigma of people seeking help for the first time?
You know, we really do try to break that stigma because you need help all the time. Some people need it in different ways, and we try to make sure that they feel like we see them. We have a lot of different services, not just food, that we try to connect them with as well, so we can make sure that we're helping the whole person or the whole community that's doing that. So definitely trying to break the stigma. Like what Stacey said, we're seeing a lot of people that are also wanting to give back. So we got to see both sides of it, even in the past 45 days, of people that do have more need and also people that were wanting to give more. So with their time, their talents, and their treasures. So we were super fortunate. Nice. Jason, one question before we take a quick break. When it comes to this process of, becoming homeless, when you say, let's figure out how you got here. Yeah. What are you seeing?
What has been the biggest factor in that?
What we're seeing, probably the underpinning problem that contributes to homelessness, as we see it, is disintegration or disaffiliation from family. There is no safety net of support. Our doors are open, everybody's welcome. Come on in, let's talk, and let's figure out how we can get you back on your feet.
Okay, so the safety net is kind of what we're talking about today and what 7 Cares Idaho Shares is all about. And again, there's a QR code that is on the screen for you to help participate in this. If you've done it every year, if this is your first year, we welcome, and everybody here welcomes your donation and how you can help. How can you help? Well, there are a few ways, not just that QR code. You could bring your food donations down to 7 Cares on December 13th. We're going to tell you a list of locations where we'll be a little bit later in the show. But if you want to give financially, make it really simple. You can donate any amount, anything that you can give, any amount makes a difference. You see how far your monetary donations can go. We've talked about this many times. $15 will provide 45 meals to Idahoans. $25 will provide 75 meals, and you can see it just kind of increases from there. These nonprofits that are here with us today and a part of 7 Cares Idaho Shares, they're able to stretch your dollar so far. It is impressive how far they can do it. Even a small donation makes a big, big difference in the lives of Idahoans. We'll be right back to talk about more and what you can do to help with 7 Cares Idaho Shares when we come back. And welcome back. Today we're learning more about 7 Cares Idaho Shares, and we're joined today with representatives from the Idaho Food Bank, the Boise Rescue Mission, and the Salvation Army to kind of talk about what the 7 Cares Idaho Shares Day means to you guys, and over the years, kind of the need that you've seen in our community, both across the Treasure Valley and across the entire state of Idaho. So let's get back into it about, well, this idea of the need grows. What are you guys seeing that you're needing most this year? Let's start with the Idaho Food Bank when it comes to the types of foods or donations you guys are looking for.
We're looking for all of it. We're super appreciative of all the support that we're getting from the community. We love that they're seeing what we do for the community statewide. We have, as Kathy said, we have partners, 400 of them all over the state. Salvation Army and Rescue Mission are partners of ours, along with food pantries, schools, churches, community centers, brick and mortars, and they're helping us and our community by doing that, whether they give financially, whether they give with their time, volunteering, or with food donations. So we're appreciative of all of that.
Okay, you guys rely on each other, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's not just you guys are standing alone and doing this on your own.
Right.
And so, Jason, when it comes to the Boise Rescue Mission, what kind of things are you guys in need of most right now?
You know, Brian, money, food, and clothing are probably our 3 biggest needs.
Okay.
We appreciate our community partnerships. That makes us strong. And I think really the treasure of the Valley, Brian, is this giving community. It's the people who live it. They give with their whole hearts. And then we have events like 7 Cares Idaho Shares Day, the biggest, best, and events like this connect needs to resources through us.
Okay, and you guys rely solely on donations, correct?
That's correct. We don't receive any government funding. We're 100% community supported. And it's events like this that provide the resources that we need to get to people in need.
Okay, as for the Salvation Army, you guys have food banks across the Treasure Valley, several places. Is there a greater need now of something that you're really desperate for?
I think that it's the same.
Same thing?
As just time, talent, and treasures are our greatest needs.
Okay.
In terms of like more concrete, more specific things in our food pantry, if people are interested in giving food, like shelf-stable products, dried products are really helpful, things that you can add to make meals a little bit more nutritious, like those nutrient-dense, products like your beans and your lentils and your canned proteins.
Yeah.
That really help keep people full.
What about volunteers? Do you guys rely on volunteers? at
Yes,
Salvation
we
Army?
do.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And
What does it take?
for a volunteer to come to us, it just takes heart. They just got to want to serve.
Yeah. Well, what does it take to run? And like, how many volunteers do you need to make it successful?
Well, we are currently in the process of switching our food delivery system model to a client choice food bank. So we're going to need volunteers to help our clients shop for items throughout our pantry, as well as, volunteers helping us, organize and stock. And there's always a big need during the Christmas season with our different distribution events. And not to forget that summer is kind of a harder time of year for us to get through in terms of like donations and volunteerism because everybody's out having fun.
True.
But just to remember to, volunteer during the warmer weather months too.
That's true. It kind of is a year-round need, of course.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's take you back to 2008, and it wasn't summer, it was winter, and KTVB's Doug Armstrong had an idea of bringing a Tyson chicken truck into town. He had a connection with Boise State, I believe, and they thought, all right, we got to do something to help out these people. And he just opened up the parking lot here at Channel 7 and said, we're going to give whatever we can and we'll take whatever you can donate. Come by, donate, come by, pick up what you need. Over the years, it has obviously ballooned. It's gone crazy. And that first year showed us, in the first 2 years, when we had Fairview shut down, snow on the ground, it was just kind of a special, special day. And it means a lot. For the Idaho Food Bank, what is a day like 7 Cares Idaho Shares? What has that meant over these years?
It's such an amazing event. To give you a little bit more detail, in the last 2 years, the financial contributions that have come from 7 Cares Idaho Shares has helped us provide food for 440,000 meals. So that's a lot. So we're able to feed more individuals, more families across the entire state through this event. And we're so grateful for community members coming out and support, organizations, businesses coming out and support as well. It just means so much.
Yeah, and we make a big deal of the big checks. But it's also amazing to see the families bring their piggy banks, and the children bring their, what do you call it? Just any funds that they can collect. It's an amazing morning to watch it all happen live on television. Jason, you talked about the increase of need there.
Yeah.
Over the years, Boise Rescue Mission has been involved in this. What has it been like for you with that need increasing?
Absolutely. In fact, Brian, just last year, in comparison to this year, we've seen an increase of, we have served 25,000 more meals this year than we did last year. And we've provided more than 20,000 overnight stays more this year in comparison to last year. The need is up, and it's events like this that help us provide resources for our guests in need. If they need a coat, we have coats. If they need a meal, let's provide that nutritious meal. And that meal, Brian, leads to the road of recovery and restoration at the Rescue Mission. And we are enormously grateful for our community. People are showing up. Kids are emptying their piggy banks, and they give and they give.
And they give, and the high schools volunteer their time. And then we have cheer squads, we have football players, basketball players all show up to help unload some of these products and stuff. So over the years, the Salvation Army, what kind of a boost, when you go into the season like this, the season of giving, what kind of a boost do you guys get when it comes to your shelves after a day like 7 Cares Idaho Shares?
Yeah,
I mean, is it a huge increase?
It's really big. I mean, sometimes we have to get creative with where we store things. So
Okay.
It really makes a big difference. And I think it's motivational to the employees too. We all give a lot.
Yeah.
So when you see the pallet in the hallway, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, it's amazing. That kind of hits you a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Why? I mean, why is that such a big deal?
I think because all of us in this room really want to help the community. And when everyone else helps us, we can go a lot farther.
Yeah. Speaking of going a lot farther, when people donate money, how far can that go? I'll start with the food bank.
Awesome. Well, for every $5 that we receive, we can provide up to 15 meals of food. So you can do the math and figure out that it does, every little bit helps. And we can stretch that dollar because we have volunteers that come out and help us at the food bank. Last year we had over 71,000 volunteer hours. And that would mean if we didn't have the community coming to help us and support us, we'd have to hire 34 full-time employees. Instead, we get to feed more people with that. So the dollar really, we can stretch it with our volunteers, we can stretch it with our buying power because we're a little bit bigger and we can share that with our partners in the community.
Do you have to go outside and purchase things that maybe aren't so prevalent when it comes to donations? What kind of stuff do you guys buy?
We like to buy different things. We like to buy things in bulk. So an example, if we buy bulk oats, for example, and we buy it in bulk, we can save almost $21,000 on one truckload by using our volunteers to be able to pack that into family-sized packages. So when people donate to us, we really try to do our best to make sure we use their dollar wisely because we know how important it is for them to give to us and we want to serve it well. So that's just an example of what we do. We buy oats, we buy beans, we try to buy, things that are nutritional, lots and lots of fresh produce. We try to get it locally, so we reduce the trucking fees for those.
Yeah.
Right now I think we have apples and pears and carrots and squash, and it's really great to see that kind of nutritional food be able to get to our neighbors that are facing food insecurity.
Jason, over the years, we've seen this happen. We do it on TV. It's the best part of it is seeing how many people come out and support a day like 7 Cares Idaho Shares. From your perspective, what's it been like to see the community get involved like it does?
You know, Brian, we truly live in the most generous community on the planet. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, men, women, and children, families, churches, businesses show up. They either want to volunteer, they want to give, they want to make an impact. And it's friends like that who keep our doors open for guests.
Okay. If you guys want to make one last plea here for the Salvation Army for 7 Cares Idaho Shares, what would that be?
I don't know if it's a plea, but just like a heartfelt thank you to our community for supporting us, all of us, in various capacities. It's really amazing to live in such a generous community and to know that whenever there's a crisis and you put out a plea for help, you know that you'll have 10 people outside waiting to help you. I love living here. I love raising my family here, and I absolutely, genuinely love just being a member of this community, and I feel like it's a privilege to be able to be on the organizational side to watch the community respond in that fashion. So it's
and you really see
amazing.
It firsthand on days like today, on days like 7 Cares Idaho Shares. It's amazing. So thank you all for being here. But I just want to remind everybody at home, this year's 7 Cares Idaho Shares, it is coming up quickly. December 13th, again, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're going to be at 5 locations across the Treasure and Magic Valley. So come by, say hi. So many people from Channel 7 and some from these organizations will be out there to say hello and welcome anything that you can bring and donate. We're going to be at the Fred Meyer in Nampa. We're going to be at Eagle Island Fred Meyer in Twin Falls. We'll be at Shields in Meridian. And we'll also be at the Eagle View Landing in Meridian. That's near Topgolf. Stop by, say hello, bring what you can. Any little bit helps. You can find all the information on our locations and how you can donate and how you can help on our website at ktvb.com. We'll be right back to wrap it up right after this. And welcome back. As we get ready for 7 Cares Idaho Shares, I want to give our organizations that are the beneficiaries of 7 Cares Idaho Shares and your donations one final moment to say thank you or a plea for people to come out and be a part of this.
Sure, Brian. We want to say thank you to KTVB for giving us this opportunity, giving our nonprofits the opportunity to have our community help us, because we really are a community. And we just want to thank the community out there for thinking of us. And 7 Cares is a great way to show that they care. So we really do appreciate it.
Nice. Jason?
7 Cares Day is the single biggest, best event this community has. And many lives are going to be touched and changed by God through your generosity. We sure appreciate you and thank you for joining us.
It's also our favorite day of the year here at Channel 7. Anything from the Salvation Army here?
Join us.
Yeah.
Come out. Drop off your bag of pennies, because they're not making them anymore.
Exactly.
Drop off a can of food. Join us. Volunteer with any of our organizations. We'd love to have your help. Just come in and come and join us in the fun. And
make it about community.
Yes, make it about
it's easy to donate, and we make it easy to donate, and that's great, but come out and say hi and be a part of this as we all kind of get together to raise money and donations for these great organizations. So thank you for joining us. We hope you will join us on Saturday, December 13th for 7 Cares Idaho Shares. If you missed anything on today's town hall, you can text the word 7 Cares to the number on your screen, 208-321-5614, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.